Hello guys, before this video starts, I want to tell you guys that this video is different from the rest. This video is based on my actual personal experiences with sleep paralysis. I had just experienced one yesterday, which is last story, which caused me to make this video. Also, feel free to share your stories in the comments section below, or contact me for a video of your own. I was 17 at the time of my first sleep paralysis. Just like a normal person, I showered, brushed my teeth and went to sleep. I never had sleep paralysis, so I was pretty shaken up by this. If I had remembered clearly, the time would be around 2 AM. Since after this episode, I woke up and checked the time. Well, anyways, as I was saying, I brushed my teeth and went to bed. It was a normal night, and I was getting ready for the weekends. After a few minutes of tossing and turning, I fell asleep. All of a sudden, I was woken up, as I normally do, after sleeping. But this time it was not due to it being the morning. I just had woken up. It was weird, because if I were to fall asleep, I would wake up in the morning or by my alarm clock. Though I shrugged it, thinking that maybe a car passing by or some weird house noises had woke me up from my deep sleep. When I decided to fall back asleep after a few seconds of thinking, it hit me. I was lying on my back, and I had just turned to my side. I was so tired, so I didn't even care if half my body was dangling off my bed. Then I realized I couldn't move. I thought to myself, oh, this must be sleep paralysis. I wasn't scared, however, since I was aware that sleep paralysis is a thing at the time. I was actually instead pretty excited. I was curious. Or maybe it was because I had my eyes closed, so not being able to see the sleep paralysis demon might have helped. So, after a while of not being able to move, my heart started to pound fast. I guess it was a natural survival instinct for the human body. You start getting scared from not being able to move and being in a very dark place. Anyways, getting off topic again, I was stuck dangling with half my body off the bed. That's when it happened. It was like a dragon's roar or some kind of monster. It roared at me somewhere from the side into my ears. It was, honestly, really scary. So, being scared, frustrated, tired, and confused, I tried breaking the spell. I moved my finger. I moved my toes, but I was unable to move my limbs. I tried to talk and yell for help, but was unable to. The only sound that came out of my mouth was some kind of groan. Thankfully, the sleep paralysis disappeared after a while of me fighting it. I woke up and sprang up from my bed. My heart was pounding now, extremely fast, as if I had just escaped death. I stood up in the middle of my room, dazed, still tired. However, I fought with myself. I was debating if I should fall asleep or not. In the end, I fell asleep again on my bed after a few minutes of staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out what happened, trying to explain what had just happened. Luckily, it never happened again for the night, and I woke up in the morning. After my first ever episode of sleep paralysis, I had been having it more frequently. I don't know if it was because of stress or just generally a lack of sleep. It was actually like a paradox, because I was having a lack of sleep due to the fact that I was having sleep paralysis on the daily. It was really depleting my mental health. I was unable to sleep for more than 6 hours, and I always wake up after the episode of sleep paralysis. I always wake up panicking, heart pounding fast and sweating. The sleep paralysis seems to get more and more often and more stronger. A few weeks after my first episode, a sleep paralysis happened, which I still remember till this day. I was in a dream. I was a detective and I was investigating a scene of a missing child. You know how dreams are, it is really random. Well, anyways, I was talking to the mother of the missing child, and it seemed that we were getting somewhere. Suddenly, my dream teleported me to somewhere where my point of view was a security camera. I saw clearly that the missing child supposedly ran next to a basement and disappeared right there and then. So being the detective, I went to the basement, just for it to become my own room. Yes, it was my room at my own house. The setup from the bed, the chair, the gaming computer was all the same. I tried to run, because quite frankly, even if I'm dreaming, it really scared the living shits out of me. But it was too late. I was somehow pressed on the bed by a force, which I guess was sleep paralysis. Then, out of nowhere, a white, slim, and tall monster, kind of referencing the rake, ran at me with immense speed. I can hear the footsteps get louder and louder as it runs closer and closer to me. Soon, it reached a few feet away from me and pounced. I woke up right before it pounced on me with again, cold sweat and a racing heart. What was more creepy was that, during the sleep paralysis, the scene was in my own room, though I was sleeping over somewhere else. That means that whatever happened, I was teleported back into my room for a time. Sleep paralysis was consistently happening to me. It is like a part of my life now. It was pretty much the same thing. I would get stuck and unable to move while some monster creeps into my room and stares at me. One time, I remembered faintly, I was having another episode of sleep paralysis. I was stuck, but this time, it disappeared rather quickly. And I think I know why. It was my cat. My cat is a domestic short hair, white. So I would consider my cat a guardian of the house. When I was stuck in sleep paralysis, it must have sensed something, whether it be my heart rate or maybe cats can just see some things we can't. It was sleeping next to my feet, and the next thing I know, it bit me on my leg. The pain and the sudden feeling had caused the break of sleep paralysis. After that episode, my cat stood next to me for the whole night and slept with me on my bed. I honestly was really thankful for my cat, and I had started letting it sleep with me on the bed after that event. Yeah, so after so much that had happened and nothing helped, I was trusting myself to the Almighty. I had just gone to a trip to China, and also to my hometown. There was a lot of culture with Buddhism there. So, I would go into the shrines and pray every chance I get. My family would also go there and do the special culture ritual with candles and burn paper, not for my sleep paralysis, but as a way to provide everyone in the family luck, prosperity, and protection. I don't know if it is because of this, the sleep paralysis had gotten much better. It now happens around twice a week when compared to it happening every single day. So I guess it helped, well, for a while. It has been almost a year that my first sleep paralysis happened. I am actually doing great now. The sleep paralysis had left me for almost 2 months now. And even if it happens somehow, I wasn't scared. I learned to just close my eyes, move my toes and fingers till it disperses. I was actually getting used to it and easily countering it, though I still do not want it to happen if I could. Yesterday, as of the posting of this video, something really horrible happened. It was one of the scariest sleep paralysis I have ever experienced. I mean, it was on a whole different level of scary. It completely caught me off guard. I was sleeping as usually and dreamed of something that I can't remember. All of a sudden, I wake up within a dream. I know this because I can't control anything, including my eyelids. Then I hear it. It was something with 4 feet crawling up the stairs extremely fast. It was my cat. I know how his running sounds like so. Yes, it had sensed something was wrong with me. Sadly, my door was shut and it could not get in to wake me up. Then felt it, breathing. It was breathing on my forearm, once, like a dog. Every few seconds, there would be this breathing and I can feel it. I tried to shrug it off as I was lying on my side, and it might have been my own breathing. Then, this had never happened before, so I am spooked as hell. Then it happened, my eyelids starting opening on its own, without my agreement nor control. Some kind of force was opening my eyes. And there it was, the rake, or something resembling it, just like I said on story 2. But this time, The monster was brown. It completely blended into the walls and the darkness of my room. I could only make out the outlines of it. Long limbs, and it was squatted down on the side of my bed. Its bald head staring straight at me, and its nose, weirdly long, was pointed directly at my forearm, exactly where I was feeling the breathing. I tried to scream. I tried to punch it, but there was no use. I could only stare at it with fear, with it staring straight back at me and breathing loudly. Before I know it, it was getting up from its squatting position and soon started climbing on my bed. Its head was directly beside mine. Then it launched itself, just like what had happened before. I woke up and broke free. Right after I broke free, I threw the fastest punch and the hardest punch I have ever thrown at the empty space where the monster was just at. It was gone. It was just me and the dark room. I tried to calm myself down, because it was indeed just a sleep paralysis demon. But the damage was done. My sweat, my heart and my mind. It was racing. I could not stay in that room for even one more second. It was too darn scary. I ran out my room and ran downstairs into my living room, opened the lights and just stared blankly into the wall. I don't know how long it took, but I finally calmed down. I was tired, of course, since it was midnight. I went back to my room. This time, I let my cat in and I was calm and went to sleep. This was not a peaceful sleep, however, since I was dreaming left and right. I was dreaming and waking up for at least 5 times. I was also paralyzed for at least another 3 times, but this time with no more monster. When morning hit, I decided to tell my experience to you guys. Even though I do not have a large amount of audience, I know this video would find its target. I want to tell you guys that sleep paralysis is okay. It is all fake, and it's your mind. It can be scary at times, but do not lose yourself. Try to get help, try to get answers, and most of all, try to get some sleep.